We obviously got a lot going on here.
What a wild night in WWE. Emotions ran high, bodies were broken, and the crowd witnessed a shocking return that no one saw coming. In the main event, The Vision, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, unleashed absolute chaos on Jey Uso and LA Knight, not just defeating them, but leaving them in a heap of destruction. Just when it seemed like the beating would never stop, Jimmy Uso's music hit, and the roof nearly came off the arena. With a steel chair in hand and fire in his eyes, Jimmy made it clear. Family comes first. Main event madness. The Vision versus Jey Uso and LA Knight. Tonight's main event was a certified slugfest, with Jey Uso teaming up with the always outspoken and unpredictable LA Knight to take on one of WWE's most destructive new forces. The Vision, made up of Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. For those unfamiliar with this newly formed alliance, The Vision has quickly positioned itself as a dominant, no-nonsense wrecking crew. Bronson Reed's raw power and unforgiving offense meshed terrifyingly well with Braun Breaker's athletic explosiveness and primal aggression. Together, they've carved a path of destruction through anyone brave enough to step in their way. But Jey Uso and LA Knight aren't exactly strangers to chaos. Jey, still dealing with the aftermath of his time with the Bloodline and nursing an injured rib from recent weeks, came into the match visibly taped up but determined. The Vision's statement victory. As the main event reached its peak, a crucial miscommunication between Jey Uso and LA Knight proved costly. LA Knight went for his signature blunt force trauma on Braun Breaker, but Breaker ducked and countered with a thunderous spear that nearly split Knight in half. At the same time, Bronson Reed crushed Jey with his punishing back-end senton, targeting the injured ribs that had plagued Jey for weeks. Reed quickly made the cover, and just like that, the Vision secured a dominant and definitive win. The arena buzzed with shock as Breaker and Reed stood tall, sending a chilling message to the rest of the WWE roster. Defeating two of the company's top fan favorites wasn't enough. This victory was about making a statement, and the Vision made theirs loud and clear. No one is safe, and their path of destruction is only just beginning. But the chaos didn't end there. Post-match carnage. The beatdown begins. What followed the final bell was less of a celebration and more of a calculated, violent message. Braun Breaker, feeding off the intensity of the moment, didn't waste time. He spun around and delivered a devastating punch to Jey Uso, who was already nursing those taped-up ribs. Reed followed up with another back-end, crushing Jey and further compromising his injured midsection. Then came a scene that made the crowd gasp. Breaker ripped away the protective tape from Jey's torso, exposing the bruised ribs and stomping on them mercilessly. It wasn't just about winning, it was about dismantling, destroying, sending a message. LA Knight tried to make the save, launching himself at Reed with a desperation clothesline that knocked the big man over the top rope. He turned his attention to Breaker, attempting his finishing blunt force trauma, but Breaker was a step ahead. In a flash, he exploded with another spear, sending Knight crashing over the announce desk and out cold. A thunderous return. Jimmy Uso is back, just as Reed scaled the top rope, poised to crush what remained of Jey with his tsunami splash. The lights shifted and the arena was filled with a sound fans hadn't heard in months. Jimmy Uso's music hit. The reaction was instant. The crowd erupted into a frenzy as Jimmy stormed down the ramp, steel chair in hand and fire in his eyes. Reed and Breaker froze. Whatever they had planned ended the moment Jimmy slid into the ring. The Vision, for once, backed off. The numbers had evened. Jimmy stood over his brother, shielding him with the chair and sending a clear message. You don't mess with family. It was an emotional scene as Jimmy checked on Jey, kneeling beside him and visibly shaken by the brutal assault. Despite their rocky past, in that moment, the bond of blood ran deeper than any betrayal. Fans could feel it. This wasn't just a return. It was personal. What's next? Bloodline reunited or more family drama? Jimmy Uso's shocking return throws a massive wrench into the WWE narrative, and with it comes a whirlwind of questions. Is this the beginning of a long-awaited reconciliation between Jimmy and Jey Uso? For months, the Usos have been fractured, torn apart by betrayal, pride, and the implosion of the bloodline. Jey walked away from it all, and Jimmy, last we saw, was left at odds with both his brother and Roman Reigns. But last night, with a steel chair in hand and fire in his eyes, Jimmy didn't hesitate. He protected his brother. Could this be the start of a new brotherhood? Maybe even a reimagined bloodline, one forged in unity rather than fear? Or is this just another emotional twist before the next fallout? WWE fans know that with the Usos, nothing is ever simple, and trust is a currency often spent but rarely earned. The Vision's reign of destruction, can anyone stop them? The Vision has officially arrived, and they're not just winning, they're dominating. Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker have quickly become one of the most feared duos in WWE, blending sheer power with cold, calculated aggression. Their victory over Jey Uso and LA Knight wasn't just another notch in their belt. It was a ruthless statement to the entire locker room. With each match, they're leaving destruction in their wake, showing no mercy and no signs of slowing down. Their chemistry is seamless, their intensity unmatched, and their goal is crystal clear: total domination. Stay informed, stay updated. Hit that subscribe button.